Okay, I am here with Pat Bean, who made all, I believe, of the banners that are currently hanging up in the sanctuary at church. And Pat, we thought that as we talked about the name of God, that is, the Lord is my banner, that it would be neat to talk to you. So I'm wondering when you started making the banners for the church.
I can't remember the exact year, but I know the date. Betty Hayes invited me to come out for a cup of tea one morning, and when I got out there, she had all this stuff laid out, and she said, "We're going to make Christmas banner for our church. We need angels. We're going to make angels." And I said, "Betty, I do not want to make banners. I hate to make banners." Well, anyone that remembers Betty Hayes, that's just the beginning. So we made the banners together, and it was, we laughed. We laughed and we fought because she had definite ideas, and it was quite an experience. And it made good memories because I still remember making those first banners and how talented she was. And she was really a good friend to me. But I did learn that you never say, "I'm not going to ever make another banner again," which is what I told her when they were finished, because you never know what God wants you to do.
That's right.
So that was the beginning. It's probably 20 or over 20 years ago, I think. So.
And of all the ones that are up, what's your favorite?
Well, I don't know if I have a favorite, but I have about four that there are reasons why I love them. And most of them have to do with music. There's a song that goes with them that goes through my mind the whole time I'm making the banner. And one of those is Emmanuel. And that banner took me 10 years to figure out how to do it. And then when I volunteered to help with Daily Vacation Bible School, Rena says, "Well, come in and help me make some of this posters or something." I went in, and there she was with the opaque projector. And I said to myself, "That's it. That's how I'm going to do this banner. I'll blow this little picture up I've been wanting to do, and I will make a banner." And so that has a fond memory of me. And the other one is the "Lord Bless You and Keep You" banner. When I was a young girl and sang in Smitty's choir, we always ended the service singing that. And it's very dear to me. And we had one person that had this beautiful soprano voice that went way better, above all of us. And when I see that banner, when I made that banner, I heard her voice. It was like singing with the angels. The next one is Fruits of the Spirit. I made that in honor of my very best childhood friend who died about 15 years ago. And we did a Bible study together, and it was called Fruits of the Spirit. But before we finished it, we laughed because we kept getting mixed up Fruits of the Spirit and spiritual gifts. And it was just, so that one was why I remember that. And then I think the next one is To Everything There Is a Season. And I just loved Hobie. And when he died, I found out that was one of his favorite scriptures, and I love it, and I love the song. So I made that banner sort of in honor of him. And the last banner, the Lord's Prayer. I was heartbroken. Excuse me. I'll try to get my voice back. I was heartbroken when I made that banner. Our son, Scott, had died. And about 3 months later, Becca asked me if I would make the banner for her, for the church, not just for her, but for the church. And I just said, no, Becca, I can't do it. Because every time we say it, I see my son standing up in his robe and his leading the congregation with the Lord's Prayer. But, you know, I love Becca so much, and she never really asked me to do anything. So I thought, I'm going to try. And I have to tell everybody it was the most spiritual thing that had ever happened to me, because the minute I entered my room where I made banners, the Lord was there with me. And he helped me make that banner. And every letter I put on, his hand was on top of mine when I glued it on. And it just was amazing. And I have been so angry with him for taking our son that I just really thought that I had gone so far in the darkness of my grief that the Lord would never be able to find me again. And there he was in that room. And it taught me a lesson that I will never forget, because he was with me all the time, and I was unaware of it for most of that time. But he was there, and he lifted me up, and he helped me get on the road to recovery. And I realized from that experience that he really is always with me. There have been stressful times in the last few years. It's very hard to get over the death of a child, and you don't ever get over it. It just gets easier to deal with it. But whenever I wake up and feel a little sad by some memory, or his birthday or Christmas or whatever, then the Lord is right there to help me through the day. And so I guess that's what the banners mean to me. Last year, when the church was open and we had some visitors, people pointed me out that I made banners, and they would come up to me and they would call me an artist. And I would kind of look around, wonder who they were talking to, because I don't feel like an artist when I make the banners. I just feel like I'm just doing what God wants me to do. And I've never really ever made a banner except that first one that God hasn't asked me to make. And when I made the last banner, he told me, this will be it. You're through. And I knew it. He spoke very loud. And perhaps he knew that my hands weren't working as well, or there would be some health issues or whatever. But I knew that was the last banner. And so I guess someone else will have to make more if we need more. So I guess that's it.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing, Pat, and for being faithful year after year, and to joining your work to God's work and creating something beautiful for us to look at when we're in the sanctuary that reminds us who we belong to, and that God's banner waves over us and we are his. So thank you, Pat. We're so grateful.
Oh, thank you.